See, the problem with leasing a truck is when your body starts to deteriorate, you can't lose all this weight, and you can't pass these medical tests that you got to go out and get every 2 years or 1 year or 90 days or 6 months or however long this medical card is. When the government stopped playing games allowing truck drivers to pay their way through the medical exams, and you go see your favorite doctor, and your doctor, you keep trying to lie to him, hey man, look, I'm gonna lose the weight, just go and pass me. When all those games are done and over with, and you go try to tell whoever actually owns the truck that you're leasing, hey man, look man, I know the medical card is about to expire, I can't get it renewed right now, but we can put these payments towards the back end, man. I already gave y'all 2 years. I done gave y'all 2 years out of a 4-year deal or a 5-year deal, man. Don't take the truck from me, man. I done worked my butt off. I done paid, $60,000 a year towards this truck. They ain't gonna care nothing about you. The employee ain't gonna care nothing about you because you didn't care about yourself. You didn't care to eat healthy. You didn't care to stay away from the unalive grill. You didn't care about what the people around you were saying about lease purchase, what they've been saying for the last 200 years about lease purchase. Ain't nothing changed about the hamster wheel. Nothing. We all know what's going on. Anybody that's on the hamster wheel, we all know the results of the hamster wheel. But it seems like the people that's on it, even though they know the results, they try to, some kind of way, they try to do some type of creative way to get off the damn thing. Ain't no way off the hamster wheel. It only goes one direction. And they only slow it down to let new people on. But to think that you're going to be one of the 1% that find a way off this thing by doing the absolute hardest thing you could possibly do to own a truck, lease. Financing is easy. Even with bad credit, it's still easy. Arrow Truck Sales, Long Mountain, they'll take you with bad credit, no credit, they don't even do a credit check. But you gotta have some cash. You ain't gotta hire 100% like us cash truck drivers. They'll take, I don't know, man, 5,000 down, 10,000 down, up to about 20. 20 is about the max. But usually about 10,000 get your truck over there at Long Mountain. And at least you only owe, at most, probably, what, $60,000, $70,000? Monthly payments. You make it get an excuse and miss a month, and maybe they'll roll it to the next month. I don't know about all that. But Vladimir, the Russians, Mr. Charlie, anybody you lease a truck from, Prime Inc., you name it. You just take 1 week off, you in the hole. You in the hole. And as of right now, since I've been in the truck, I've been in the truck in 10 years, there's only one person I've ever seen so far that's able to take off a bunch of time and don't go in the hole and owe all this money, and that's PH. He would be the 1%. I wouldn't even say the 1%. He the only percent. Because I don't know nobody else that lease a truck can take off 2-3 weeks, come back and ain't in the hole, or they in some small hole, Everybody else, when we take off leasing a truck, shit, come back freaking, you took off 3 weeks, you 3,000 plus in the hole. Now you gotta work a whole month just to get up out the hole. That doesn't mean you try to be like PH. I just told you he's the only one. I don't know anybody else. I've been driving 10 years. He ain't the 1%, he's the only percent. Ain't nobody else been able to do it. My favorite lease driver, I ain't never heard him say nothing like, hey, well, I can take off as much time as I want and I won't go in hole. Have you heard that? I ain't either. So don't try to compare yourself to PH. Now, you want to own the lease truck. Nothing wrong with wanting to own the lease truck. The problem is, a lot of these leases are 3 months, 4 months, 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. A bunch of brothers got tricked into the 1 year lease. Every time I hear about the 1 year lease, I hear about it, a year later, don't see no truck. So I don't know anything about no 1 year lease, but somebody blowing my phone up. A lot can happen in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Just a 4-year lease. That's like going back to high school as a freshman, making it all the way through to your senior year and graduating. The graduation part, that's the getting the title part of the lease truck. A lot of people don't graduate. A lot of people drop out. A lot of people drop out. And y'all should know, y'all truck drivers. Not everybody crossed the stage. You trying to relive that whole thing just to find out that if you do happen to finish and get the title to the lease truck, well, congratulations. Because what you're going to find out is your cost of operation is the same as mine. Well, actually, it's going to be a little bit more, way more, because you got this newer truck. But, you know, you're going to have this truck with about 500,000 miles on it, outside the warranty. You got way more parts on the engine. So that's way more parts to buy over there at the dealership. And it's got emissions. One box's DEF pump. DEF pump costs you $1,800. Then you gotta get DEF. And you know what you're gonna say to yourself? Damn, I wish I hit a 12.7. Like Interstate Maybe, Chasing Andrew Jackson, Big Daddy, Coco, and everybody else you see winning with that old school Detroit 60 series. And we don't just got this engine just because we don't want a newer truck. We got the engine because it's the engine that's the most affordable, the most reliable, costs the least amount of money out of our pocket to operate. You want the engine that's just gonna take everything, your shirt, your underwear, just everything you got. That's what you want. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to try to, you know, look, no matter what engine you get, there's somebody out there making it work with that engine. Mr. Charlie, he can make it work with any engine. Problem is he ain't driving the truck, you are. So I'm just saying, you know, I want everybody to get the title to a lease truck, but I understand, you know, the doctor, when the doctor say, hey, look, man, this trucking thing, man, we feel like if we let you continue down this path, man, you're not gonna live too much longer. We're gonna have to pull the plug. We're gonna either we gotta pull the plug or we need you got to get in there, start exercising. And I'm happy the doctors are doing this. Cause I hate to see a truck driver out here dropping unalive because of bad eating habits, McDonald's, Roller Grill, Chester's Chicken, sitting in the seat 12 hours a day, arteries clogged up. I would much rather the doctor pull these guys out, make them go to the gym, eat healthy, get their weight down so they can live longer. That's all. So they can live. It's so they can live longer. So instead of, well, you only got 2 years to live if you continue driving the truck, they said, nah, wait a minute, hold on, nah. You most males need to at least go to 70, 80 years old, and we feel like you can do that if we just pull the plug right now. That's what they're doing. They're not taking your CDLs. See, I say CDLs because some of y'all got a CDL in, for example, Tennessee and Alabama. That's how Lottie Dottie was. He had CDLs. He had 2 of them. 2 different driving numbers. One of them was hot. One of them he had 3 tickets on. The other one was clean. What does that mean, Andrew? That means when you go applying for companies, you just give them the clean CDL number. Instead of the one that's all burnt up and shot, nobody gonna hire you. See, that's what we call CDLs. Got too many tickets on one CDL, go establish some residence in another state, get you another CDL, get that fresh number, good to go. But talking to a driver right now, he going through it too. Child support. His situation kind of difficult. It's not really no way to get around that child support. He got 3 kids. Y'all can only imagine what he paying in child support. He already told me, and he paying a mortgage a month for just child support, and That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I ain't even got the answers, to be honest. But I'm trying to help him with the situation he got going on. But that's a tough situation, cause there ain't really no way out of the child support. And I really know what. And if the baby mama was still together, all 3 kids, one household, we can go get joint custody and cut all the child support out. But that just ain't the case. But anyways, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video real quick. I got some things to do, but I'm gonna come back. I might do a live later on. But the moral of the story is, I just want you guys to be healthy. That's all. So I'm gonna say it again. If you gotta get out the truck for a year or 2 to get healthy, that's totally fine. Especially if you're a lease driver. You know why? Because I guarantee if you go and leave this industry for 5 years and come back healthy, guess what's going to be available for you? Leasing a truck. Mr. Charlie, the Russians, Ukrainians, they always need somebody to come pay for their truck note. They don't want to pay for it. So if you take 10 years, 20 years off, when you come back, that will be available. So you guys, don't be afraid to take off. Don't be afraid to take off. New truck drivers constantly coming in the trucking, so you'll have new people to talk to. You know, it's gonna be all right. And a lot of y'all don't do YouTube, so when you do take off, nobody gonna know. Nobody. You don't got no social media. There ain't nothing to feel embarrassed about. Yeah, you can go take off, get a regular job. Yeah, okay, Andrew, it's not enough income. I understand, but you going back to trucking later on. You just doing it you just trying to get healthy. You may go work a regular job for a year or 2, maybe go learn a new trade, new skill. And when you get the weight down, guess what? You just go hop back in a truck. Leasing, 1099, whatever y'all want to do, all that stuff gonna be available. Anything that screws a truck driver over is gonna always be available. Yeah. I'm gonna go and get up out of here.